World's largest spider web has just been discovered.
The band Sum 41 does not exist and has never existed.
What was that?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another Bryce Is Right. I hope y'all have all had a great freaking week. And I hope y'all are ready to dive down deep into some of the creepiest and freakiest videos I could find in the deepest, darkest corners of TikTok. And nah, these aren't your ordinary videos. They're going to be blowing your mind, making your head spin, and having you question your reality. Before we get started, let's go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss out on any future content, and leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Let us know what's up. Other than that, let's go ahead and dive right in, y'all. Let's get it.
What he reveals about the Boogosphere. Okay, are you ready for this? So last night in Mexico City, journalist Jaime Maussan went live on TV, and what he reveals about the Boogosphere, if legit, it would rewrite human history. So he unleashed a ton of information, but basically he claims that the metallic sphere found in Buga, Colombia, it's finally been decoded. And the carvings on the top are not just random. They're Proto-Sanskrit, the root of humanity's oldest written language. According to Maussan, it tells a story from 12,560 years ago describing great oceans moving, the end of one world and the birth of another world. Then came the lab results. He says that U.S. tests show that the sphere is made of a high-grade refined aluminum mixed with rare earth elements. And he said that it wouldn't have existed at this time. The resin that they carbon dated was 12,560 years old. They were able to carbon date that, not the metal. An engineer named Rodolfo Herrero called it a solid-state resonator. Not art, but a piece of technology. Local officials even approved a replica monument at the spot where it was found, where vegetation still refuses to grow, I guess. And the man who discovered it, Don Jose, he just said that he knew it was not from here. Maussan says that the glyphs may warn of a global cataclysm, the same one basically that ended the Ice Age and promised full transparency on every test moving forward. He ended the broadcast staring straight into the camera, and he said, "This is one of the greatest discoveries of all time. We are only beginning to understand who made it." Whew, it's a lot. I may do a deeper dive video on this because there is actually a lot more that he stated. But what do you think of this? What do you make of it?
It feels like a bag of sand.
Bag of sand?
Very interesting. I got so many thoughts going back and forth. But it still brings me back to, it's just early civilization, yeah. We've done this in 200 years, really. It changed so much. So imagine if you had 10,000. Shit, even 3. Man, that was looking kind of wild.
Guys, the world's largest spider web has just been discovered, and it also contains over 110,000 spiders. Ah, napalm. And if that's not wild enough, the webs cover an area of 1,140 square feet. For Americans, that's half a basketball court, just straight webs. And perhaps us humans can take some notes, because what researchers say is significant is they found 2 different species of spiders living there together peacefully. Researchers made this discovery in a sulfur cave along the Albanian-Greek border, and it's now believed to be the largest spider web ever discovered.
Imagine trying to rock climb that.
Staring down the hall like he sees someone. What was that?
Nah, that's something.
Staring down the hall like he sees someone.
It's like he knew it too. I mean, that's something, right?
What was that?
It's like, it makes my eyes water though. It's so weird.
Gosh. What?
Dude. Or is it just busy? I mean, I don't know.
New research shows taking melatonin for long periods of time could be a sign of underlying heart issues. Data released by the American Heart Association found that long-term use of the popular sleep aid is actually linked to a higher risk of heart failure and early death in adults with insomnia. Now, there is no evidence that these supplements themselves cause this, but experts say the need to take these supplements on a regular basis could mean that something more serious is going on with your health.
How does he keep up with everything? This is a really fascinating study, and it's going to get a lot of attention. So I'm thrilled we're talking about it early before social media starts hitting you with that fear tactic. Let's break it down. First and foremost, this is actually from an abstract that's going to be presented at an American Heart Association conference in a few days. So it has not been peer-reviewed, and it has not been published in a peer-reviewed journal. They looked at the medical records of 130,000 adults, and they divided them into a melatonin group, ones that had melatonin prescribed to them in their medical record, and compared them to matched controls, people that were similar on 40 different characteristics, including demographics and health background. That's the non-melatonin group. Important to know, they did not match for severity of insomnia or for psychiatric conditions. After 5 years, they found that those that were in the melatonin group had an incidence of heart failure at 4.6%, which was higher than the non-melatonin group at 2.7%. The main takeaway here is that nobody is saying that the melatonin caused the heart failure. This is a correlation, and that does not equal causation. Even the authors are quick to make that point. Because I could hypothesize that somebody that had really early signs of heart failure without actually having the diagnosis would start to have sleep challenges, which is a natural part of having heart difficulties, and thus more likely to take melatonin, and thus more likely to have a diagnosis of heart failure. We also know that insomnia in and of itself is correlated with heart problems, so the melatonin might just be an innocent bystander in this whole operation. But regardless, a great time to emphasize that supplements may not necessarily be benign. They're not FDA regulated here in the US. Talk to your doctor before starting on anything that's over the counter.
Yeah, I just like
You bought
green.
a present for me in this box, and I feel nervous and excited.
So this is a human brain with a spinal cord. Such a masterpiece. But what people don't know is that we have 4 different structured parts of our brain that automatically shape how we think, feel, and behave. But what if it's not unconscious? What if we could pick and choose when how we want to be in any moment on purpose? Like we can manifest our own mental health.
And by the end of this conversation today, you're going to teach me how to do that.
Absolutely. You're going to so get it.
Harvard neuroscientist Dr. Jill Bolte-Taylor
has transformed how we understand the brain through her research and own traumatic experience.
She's teaching the world how to unlock every part of their brain to regain control of their thoughts, emotions, and behavior.
We have a problem. We are skewed as a society to the 2 parts of the left brain, which focuses on me, the individual. How do I fit myself into a society? And trauma is living in there, as is cravings and addiction. And we need this. It protects us. But we get in trouble when this is the only portion of our brain that we value, because look at the world we currently live in.
So is there a strategy for making sure that you don't act upon it?
Well, so many people are trying to get rid of their emotional reactivity, but the way to heal it is not to get rid of it. I mean, we're wired for this. Why do I want to just put myself in a little box and say, I don't want to have pain, I don't want to be mad, I want to be a robot, I don't want to be a robot. I want to be a whole human with a whole brain. Like, this is life. And it lasts this long and then it's gone.
Ron, are you okay? Ron, where are you?
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
And it took me losing the left side of my brain for 8 years to realize just how precious this thing is.
So how do I control and protect my brain at all costs?
Well, there's a lot. So you ready? Want some hot stuff?
All right. I'll get more of that.
Do you guys live near any of these dots? Because someone sent me this map off the dark web. It's called Combined Haunted Weird Treasure Abandoned Furries. And I honestly still think it's the most interesting thing I've ever been sent.
Sure.
It's got almost 200,000 locations on it, and I have like no idea why. I put the map up on my channel, and so a bunch of people have looked at it and found that it points to really weird places near where they live. A lot of weird, creepy, abandoned buildings, some furry stuff. One guy on YouTube actually did find a gold Buddha statue. I've been to a lot of the locations near where I live, including my work. A lot of people have said they think it's locations. But other people think it might just be haunted, weird, abandoned locations that maybe have furries or treasure. Let me know what you think.
That's super weird.
The band Sum 41 does not exist and has never existed.
What are we talking about? They're one of the greats.
There's no way to prove it. There's no way to prove a negative, and that band's work is negative. It's an overall negative to the culture.
Okay, well, what about roll into my party like my name was El Nino, something, 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 abortion. Where's that come from? If Sum 41
That's
doesn't
you
exist?
freestyling. Sum 41 is the last line of a Google Sheets document where they added up their yearly revenues, and it said Sum 41, and then some person like you, a person like you.
Don't you say that.
Person
Not
like
a person
you.
like me. These guys are hard rockers. These guys are rap rockers. These guys are white guys who are taking culture for perhaps other people, using it to their own way to make money, and rocking the house.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
no red flags for that. That's incredible.
Yeah, because that's what Sum 41 did. They got people, boys
Sum
and girls,
41
excited. They got them
Sum
excited.
41 took
They said, hey,
13-year-olds.
Hey, look at eyeliner. Look at what guys wear it. Hey, look at storm into the party like my name is El Nino and I'm abortion. Abortion.
What is the name of that song?
Fat Lip. There's a part that gets between those two, but I don't remember all the words.
Can I tell you something?
Oh, I'm storming in the party like my name was El Nino and
I'm smarter than you.
How much would you pay to never have to say goodbye to a beloved pet? Now, if you got enough cash, you might be able to do it. Tom Brady, you know, the best quarterback of all time, he announced that he's cloned his late dog, joining a list of other celebrities who have done it as well. The price tag? A cool $50,000. That's right.
Brady's announcement comes the same day that Colossal Biosciences, a biotech company that he's an investor in, bought Texas-based Viagen, one of the world's leading animal cloning companies. And some big celebrities have used Viagen to clone their pets, too.
Many of us wish our pets could be with us forever. Paris Hilton cloned her missing Chihuahua in 2023, producing 2 new puppies. That same year, our Gayle King spoke with Barbara Streisand as they were interrupted by Miss Violet and Miss Scarlet, clones of Streisand's late canine, Samantha.
They're not the same because, as I said, you can't clone a soul. Sammy had her own soul.
And now football legend Tom Brady reveals to People magazine he's done the same, cloning his pit bull mix, Lua, who died in 2023. To clone your pet, here's how it works. Your vet takes tissue samples and sends it to the lab. Embryos are created from the cells and implanted into a surrogate dog to carry it to term. According to research at Columbia University, the success rate is only about 20%. Bioethicist Jessica Pierce.
What worries me about cloning is that I feel like it's an industry that steps in and kind of preys on people's grief.
Pierce also said cloning preys on people's fear of losing their animal or their distress at having just lost their pet. We've reached out to Colossal for comment and have not heard back. In the meantime, PETA, the animal rights or advocacy organization, says the best way to honor your lost pet is to recognize that they are not replaceable and to adopt from a local shelter.
Oh, no. He's fine. What? He's fine. Yeah, he's just in here chowing down on a diaper. Hey!
I agree. I mean, we have enough animals in this world. We're about to have enough robots that are crashing out. Well, I'll be darned. So do y'all think that's AI or not?
You are the single most requested guest.
And let me tell you, this has not been easy because we went to some hard places, but I don't think we'll ever talk about anything more important than this because it's not fear that gets in the way of us being brave with our lives and our work. It's the armor that we reach for to self-protect when we're afraid. And the hardest work is being aware of what is my armor when I'm afraid.
Is that automatic?
Oh shit, no, that's a training.
And what about vulnerability? Like, is vulnerability important?
It is if we want to be brave with our lives. But we were raised to believe that vulnerability is weakness. Like in my family, we were allowed anger, but sad was not an option. You needed to be tough. And so when I get scared, when I feel anxious, disappointed, I'm just angry. And so when you're raised without vulnerability, it'll put you in jeopardy. Like, you want to know what vulnerability is? Joy. Joy is so vulnerable that people choose to live disappointed rather than to get excited about something and risk getting sucker punched by disappointment. Like, there is no courage without vulnerability, because courage is the willingness to show up and be all in when you cannot predict the outcome.
Wow, I've never thought about that before.
But you can develop skills.
Like these 4 steps to courage.
Yes. We've taken 165,000 people through this work that included how to build trust.
And I've heard about your marble jar theory. Could you explain to me what your marble jar... Look at how excited you are.
I know. So this is how we teach trust to the most senior leaders in Fortune 100 companies. It's awesome.
They're going to nuke it. They are going to nuke the city killer asteroid 2024 YR4. Well, that's how I interpreted the headlines until I looked deeper. So this idea is actually one of 4 scenarios presented in a recent paper that's authored by scientists from NASA and other institutions, which is yet to be peer-reviewed. Here's a quick recap if you don't know about 2024 YR4. It's an asteroid that was discovered around Christmas time in 2024, and at the time it appeared to be likely, with a 3.1% chance at its highest, that it could hit the Earth in December of 2032. After tracking it for a couple of months though, it's no longer a threat to Earth in 2032. But it does currently have a 4% chance of hitting the moon at that time instead. And what this new paper explores is potential missions to stop 2024 YR4 from hitting the moon. Here's what they suggest. First option, deflect 2024 YR4 by hitting it with something, using a gravity tractor or ion beam deflection, or detonating a nuclear device to change its trajectory. Or robust disruption, aka destroy it. They explore 2 ways to do this. 1, kinetic robust disruption, aka ram something really hard into it to shatter it into pieces, or, you guessed it, nuke it, or what they're politely calling is a nuclear robust disruption. Now, I'm keen to explore this paper further, so leave your questions in the comments and keep an eye out for a longer deep dive video coming soon.
Yeah, I feel like that debris would just end up hitting stuff. Maybe not this year or next year.
There's nothing in the air. Hold up. Is it really? No. No, there's nothing up there. Yo, look, it's literally raining in one spot. Look. Well, let me go stand under it for good. There's no rain. Nowhere else but right here. And it's rain because it smells like rain. Like, you can smell it. It smells like rain. Like, what?
It's all those people that say, oh, you can't smell rain.
And then what's even weirder is this car is sitting here with the lights on. Nobody's inside. And the lights are blinking. Well, like, what? This is just baffling.
Lo voy a hacer en vivo porque luego dicen, ya me asustó el gato, luego dicen que es mentiras, pero miren, estoy acá afuera del yunque y miren lo que se mira.
Come again? You know I don't speak Spanish.
No sé si cansan a mirar ustedes, pero mira, me arrimo, mira, mira.
Yeah, definitely saw
¿Se mira? ¿Se mira eso? Mira, se mete. Y no son rateros porque ya corrí para atrás, me metí con la troca y cada vez que me arrimo, ¿se mira?
What the hell?
¿Se mira? ¡Ay! ¡Ay! Y hace un ruido bien feo, la verdad. Y no son rateros, o sea, pues... no son los rateros. ¡Ay! ¡Qué feo se siente! Mire, atrás de la troca, mira.
It's hard to see.
No, hombre. Y me lo mando. Mire. ¡Ay! Con su madre. Me siento. Mire, allá está. Mira, se cambia de figura. Y luego. Mira. ¡Ay, güey! No tengo ni el valor de trancar la puerta. Ay, qué feo se siente eso. Ah. Ay, y se me quedó el forklift sin gasolina, tengo que ir por gas a fuerzas. Y allá ya se mira eso. Dice, no, son rateros, no, qué rateros. Te arrimas y se mueven y así. Ay, ay, ay. Yo tan miedoso que soy con esas cosas. Me pongo aquí en la luz y nada.
Philip K. Dick was an author. He was born in 1928. He wrote, just a ton of books about the future. But what he did was in his books, he predicted so many technologies that we use today, including AI. He said he was receiving vast amounts of knowledge in all sorts of things, philosophy, theology, and science from something he called VALIS, which stood for Vast Active Living Intelligence System. But in his books, he talked about facial recognition. He predicted the internet in 1969, 3D printing. He fully predicted in his books. He wrote about AI and how it would act and how it could potentially take over. And this is what's crazy. He's a crazy person, right? Well, not as crazy when he's being followed by the FBI and CIA.
Wow.
This is confirmed? Confirmed. They were following him. They were tracking him. They bugged his house. The FBI was caught opening his mail one time.
Oh my gosh.
And then he was warned that they were going to raid his house. And he's like, no, there's no way. Sure enough, the CIA came and raided his home, opened his safe, and took all of his documents.
What in the world, bro?
And then he died in 1982, very shortly after discovering that the CIA and FBI were after him.
Yeah, super, super strange.
Yeah, those big squiggly S's. See them every single year.
What the fuck is that? What is that? It's like a... What the hell am I looking at? No, seriously, I don't know what I'm looking at here. This is so weird. Like, that's the horizon. Look at this thing. What? What is that? I don't know.
I have no idea.
That's crazy. Something fell out of the sky. Something fell out of the sky and fucking landed and is causing a fire.
Meteor, we call this here being in burger heaven. Okay.
What the fuck could that be? This is in I'm right now in Pawaka, going west on the east from Los Alamos. It must have just happened because it wasn't. This is crazy. What the hell could that have been? What kind of craft could that have been that caused such a thing? See, there's obviously a jet. There's a jet flying that way. This is crazy. This just happened. This literally just happened. Hey, that's what I heard when I was at the house. This is crazy.
So the entire US economy is just 7 companies moving $1 trillion back and forth to each other. A recent Bloomberg article titled OpenAI, NVIDIA fuel $1 trillion AI market with a web of circular deals sheds light on the rapid flow of capital in the AI ecosystem. Startups are purchasing GPUs from NVIDIA, funded by investors who profit off of NVIDIA's soaring stock, creating a circular loop of money flowing through the system. And the article raises an important point that there has never been a time in history in which so much money has been spent on a technology that no doubt has a lot of potential and is being used for real-world cases right now, but still has a profit-making potential that is largely unproven. So is this a sign that the AI market is built upon a bubble of hype and circular deals? Or is this simply the high-stakes entry fee for participating in one of the most contested, high-stake technology transformations in history? What do you think? And of course, if you want to learn more about AI, make sure to follow for more.
So you're going to some kind of teaching thing?
Jesus fucking Christ! I can barely get a cohesive sentence out of this mutant. Is there a gas leak in all these places?
Man, that guy has so much emotion.
Oh my gosh, right now we are out and there's a periscope taking pictures of us in the water. This is so freaky. Holy crap, it is looking around.
And it's going down.
It's going down. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Oh my gosh.
That was awesome.
Y'all, what if the government shutdown isn't about politics or money? Think about it. Flights is grounded, airspace is about to be closed, and communication lines is going dark. Meanwhile, you got scientists talking about three-eye atlas may not be a comet, and it's doing things that comets don't usually do. Say they reverse orbit, something in the back turned blue, it's headed our way, and you've been hearing chatters all year talking about aliens. What if this shutdown is really a lock-in? So we don't get to see what's going on from above us. If we can't fly, we can't see shit. What if they know something's up there? Or what if they know something is coming, so they're trying to use this government shutdown to keep us shut down?
Okay, this is really weird.
Just to know everything just doesn't even seem.
Going very slowly across the farm. I mean, it's a very low wind. I don't, there's... Must be one of them traveling bushes. I don't get it.
All right, we got to talk about these furry tanks I keep seeing popping up. Look at that thing. Apparently, after doing a little bit of digging, these are allegedly electronic warfare setups that are mounted on these tanks, which bristles with antennas, rods, and resembling a dense fur or thicket, which is why people have nicknamed these tanks hairy tanks, or porcupine tanks, or furry tanks. Yeah, furry tanks. The hairiness comes from when they mount an electronic warfare system on the turret for the tank to prevent it from getting targeted or hit by FPV drones. And one of the electronic warfare systems they happen to use is the R330ZH GTEL. That's just one example. There's probably a plethora of different electronic warfare systems that they'll mount, and all the fluffiness, the porcupine lookness stuff is probably just in an effort to camouflage the electronic warfare jamming system.
For the record, do you think that we didn't walk on the moon?
I don't think we did. I think it was fake.
Kim, let's talk through it.
There's no gravity on the moon.
Yes, there is. There's just less gravity than Earth. That's why the astronauts didn't float away.
Why is the flag blowing?
It's not. There's no wind on the moon. Let's take a look right here. That's a bar. It's actually holding up the flag to overcome the lack of wind. And sometimes that didn't work. Here's the flag on Apollo 12 that wouldn't stay up because it had a failed latch mechanism. But these are nylon flags, which have been folded up and stored for a very long time, which is why they're wrinkly. To put the flag into the lunar soil, Neil Armstrong had to spin it, right? Imagine putting a stake into the ground. You'd have to spin it to dig it in. So the flag starts swinging, but does it stop swinging? No. Not right away, because an object in motion will stay in motion until it's acted upon by something like air. But the moon doesn't really have an atmosphere, so there aren't many particles right here to slow down the swinging of the flag. So it doesn't swing like it would on Earth, where there's air, but it did, thankfully, stop swinging eventually because there are some particles that close to the moon.
Get off of me! You just eased the tension, baby.
Shoes that they have in the museum that they wore on the moon is a different print in the photos.
Here's the spacesuit that they wore on the moon, and here is the boot, and that doesn't match this boot print. But wait, what's that? They're boot covers, lunar overshoes that they wore on the moon for warmth and protection. These are also on display in the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, and they are in every photo of astronauts on the moon.
Why are there no stars?
They saw stars sometimes and not other times. When they orbited on the far side of the moon and the moon blocked the sun, they saw a lot of stars, and the transcript is consistent with that. But it was daytime when they landed. They landed facing the sun, which is why it's so bright in all of the photos. But if they stood in the shade of their lunar lander and let their eyes adjust, then they could see some stars. This was taken from an ultraviolet camera standing in the shade of the lunar lander and pointed up. But the lunar surface is also very bright, so capturing the brightness of the lunar surface and faint stars in the background isn't really possible with like one exposure. Here's what would happen. Here's the overexposed Earth with some stars in the background from the moon.
A million interviews with both Buzz Aldrin and the other one. Do it. This girl says, what was the scariest moment? And he goes, there was no scary moment because it didn't happen. It could have been scary, but it wasn't because it didn't happen.
So that is a cropped video, but I will show you the whole thing.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest? It didn't happen. It could have been scary. Circuit breaker.
Circuit breaker. And then he goes into a 6-minute, very long story about how when they were on the moon, he found a circuit breaker that wasn't attached where it was supposed to be. And if they didn't reattach it right, they wouldn't have been able to get off the moon. So he's talking about how they mitigated this almost very scary incident. There's the whole video. You can see it. I fast forwarded it. It's 6 minutes long. It would have been scary to be stuck on the moon, but it wasn't scary because it didn't happen. Could he have worded it better? Yeah.
Like, go to TikTok. See for yourself.
I agree you should go to TikTok, but I think you should go to my debunking playlist instead.
Or Brasses, right? I mean,
9 in 10 young people in the UK believe that their life is lacking purpose, and a lot of people are turning back to religion. There is something going on.
This is about the most important thing that anyone could ever find out about their life. And God has made us for a purpose, and the purpose flows from that meaning.
I kind of reject that because this is a perfect example of a solution being provided without explaining exactly why it provides a solution. And that's what people are doing in religious traditions.
I hard disagree. For me, finding meaning and purpose is like a very practical thing.
And that's what I want to talk about today.
We are joined by an atheist, Christian, and spiritual thinker
to find an answer to the purpose crisis millions are facing today.
One of the reasons that I'm a Christian is because it's the best explanation for the way things are.
But if Christianity were true, we would not expect the kind of suffering that is present in the world.
So I'm very curious. What if I died from cancer at 1 year old?
So someone violated God's commands, and that had an impact on the world.
So children get cancer because a few million years ago someone ate a fruit. If you want religion to provide existential comfort for people who are suffering, you have to do more in the face of children dying of cancer than some reference to mythical human beings.
But if your worldview does not have a way of making sense or moral intuitions about suffering, it's not an adequate worldview.
What I would say science and spirituality can really add is it's effective in terms of reducing suicidality, improving resilience, giving them a reason to wake up in the morning, and we'll get into that.
And Alex, if someone's listening now and they feel lost in their life, is there any advice that you could give them?
So as an atheist, I'm offering a psychological explanation. So I would recommend that they...
You're spot on, Alex. So the first thing to understand is it is an internal feeling. And we found in our study that if your sense of purpose increases by 68%.
Yo, what the hell?
Oh, this dude body.
Yo, what up, bro? You trying to get on the beat?
It's the word.
What are you feeling?
Shit, let's see. I mean, I like a nice underground raw, you know what I mean?
Little boom bap hip hop vibe?
Not too boom bap.
Oh.
We could go, you know, Earl Sweatshirt vibe. You know.
Oh, Earl Sweatshirt.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
What's the app workout, man? What's the program like?
You're looking at the program, bro. You're looking at the app workout.
This shit is crazy, man. Yeah. Oh, shit. I'm on call, got the plug and a big endorsement. Met a plug, bought it all, then I made a fortune. Sushi in a ramen bowl like I'm in Japan. It's new weight, got a beat, I'm a body slam. Blueprint like Hove, tryna roll 1J. What's going on with the songs like I'm Marvin Gaye? It's no blind spot, seeing all the grind in the chase. But in the hindsight, it's looking like I'll dine in the bay. Way I'm on this mic, I speak. Give an echo at the Grand Canyon, rolling a leaf. I got a big cannon, last standing hit with a blow. Beneath, below, hook up till sun up, then sundown. I'm really on my own. Where the underground run at, they spit like a packer and storm like forecast. Knocking down the big doors in front like doormats. Peep it in my tone. Only got a couple homies who gon' hold the code. Major play like I'm in the city. They say I'm the mayor, but he's next, Willy Willy. Thinking, but it's illy. They know I'm really tricky.
Oh, wow.
So lizard people on the Hollow Earth. Y'all said y'all wanted more, so here we go. Let's make this a whole series of Hollow Earth. Now the story goes like this. Tens of thousands of years ago, an advanced reptilian species descended from dinosaurs, survived underground after some massive catalysm, and evolved intelligence. They built cities beneath the crust, powered by crystal technology where they still thrive today, waiting for the perfect time to reclaim the surface. You know what's funny is some of the 2012 believers believed that they were going to come up at that time to take over the world, but I guess they're running late right now. You know, they're not just monsters, they're shapeshifters, they're masters of disguise. They're able to walk among us, blending into society by copying human appearance, just like the great they live. And you know, you can spot them, they say, if you look close enough. A flicker in the eyes on TV, a strange split pupil caught in HD. Conveniently, the evidence always looks like bad YouTube compression error. Obviously, there's the whole David Icke side of lizard people, but we're just talking about the Hollow Earth part of it right now. There are stories of underground tunnels stretching from Los Angeles all the way to Europe with massive caverns housing reptilian cities, and even military bases that share space with them. The most infamous of them all, Dulce Base in New Mexico, supposedly a joint human-reptilian facility where experiments are conducted on both species. But you know, lizards always come into play. Aliens, they're lizards. The British royal family, lizards. American government, lizards. Mitch McConnell, well, turtle. But you know, there's an entire race of reptilian humanoids living underneath us, deep in the hollow earth, and they're running the show since the dawn of civilization. But in my next video, let's talk about some of the supposed entrances to this reptile village down there.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny.
Okay, we just found hidden parts of the brain using AI. So for so long, neuroscientists have been mapping the brain of a mouse by slicing it up, staining it with dyes, looking under the microscope, and drawing lines where we think one region ends and another one begins. It's good, but it's educated guessing, and we built this massive atlas database that everyone uses. But those borders are mostly based on what looks different to the human eye. But a team at UCSF decided to check our work. They built an AI called Cell Transformer. It's a neural network and gave it something we never had: molecular level data from 9 million actual brain cells. Then they told the AI, forget what the human said, find the real borders of the brain. And the AI taught itself brain geography from scratch. It looked at cellular neighborhoods, which cells hang out together, what they're expressing, and how they're organized. At the core of it is just pattern recognition on raw biology data, like discovering a city by actually studying every single resident and seeing who knows who and what language they speak and what they do for work. And by doing so, it rediscovered every major region of the brain that we already knew. The cortical layers, the hippocampus, all of it. But the borders were more sharper. They were more precise than our manual maps. But it didn't stop there. The model just kept going. The AI found hundreds of regions we'd completely missed in the past. And they tested 4 different mice, and it drew the same 100 hidden regions in every brain with near perfect consistency. Okay, so why does this matter? Cell Transformer could work on any tissue with molecular level data. cancer tissues, liver, the heart, anywhere we need to understand cellular organization at scale. So this isn't just a better brain map, it's a new way to see how any organs actually organize themselves at the molecular level, which means better understanding of diseases and faster potential discovery of treatments. And we've studied the mouse brain for over a century. We thought we had it figured out, and then AI just found hundreds of regions we'd completely missed. Follow and I'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
According to neuroscience, the highest form of intelligence is not logic, it's not speed, it's not memory. It is a form of intelligence called metacognition.
I'm Tyrone. The fuck you gonna do, you Post Malone looking motherfucker?
This is the rare ability to think about thinking. This is the brain correcting errors in real time, rewiring itself based on current needs. That moment of self-realization and awareness where you say, wow, why did my brain react that way? Or why did I feel this certain way? And you start to extrapolate those things. That is the exact moment your brain starts to evolve. Neuroscience has found that the moment that metacognition is activated and you begin thinking about thinking, your anterior prefrontal cortex lights up, turning the spotlight inward. This means you have a neural system designed specifically for self-observation, and your brain is rewriting its own code in real time. It's like a computer software rewriting the basic code of the system while the system is running.
That beard game.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Gee whiz. Hot dog.
Some real Dexter vibes.
Shit's getting weird. Part infinity.
Hi, boys and girls. It's Shane and Xavier. Howdy. We're going to be doing part 2 of our eviction video. Apparently, we were hoping it wouldn't come to this. So if you saw last week, we issued the 3-day notice for them to pay or not. They have not responded to any messages. They are still in the house, and so now we have to proceed.
Can you imagine getting evicted by Dracula? Dracula's your landlord and he's coming to kick you the fuck out. What's up, Tom? You alright? Now I'm getting evicted. What? Evicted? Why? To be honest with you, I don't know. Well, you know you can fight it, right, Tom? I mean, you have renter's rights, okay? It's a law. You have rights in the state and you're protected.
Yes, I do know, but my landlord's a bit crazy.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Your rights trump his craziness. Who's your landlord?
Dracula.
I'm sorry?
Mr. Count Dracula.
You need to relax.
Yeah, that's
Uh-uh.
It's not my money, bitch.
Hey, don't call me bitch. I'm a grown man.
I put you on the street.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, Tom, you might want to get out.
Wait, what about my rights? I thought you said I had rights.
You do, but you also have the right to count your blessings and just leave. You know what I'm saying? Because it's either going to be dead or alive. And it's Dracula, so you're probably going to leave dead and alive.
You know what? No, I'm going to fight it. I'm going to fight this Dracula.
You see, this is why y'all be dying in movies, Tom. I'm out. I'm not fighting Dracula. What do I look like, Wesley Snipes?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, you kind of do.
I'm not saying the moon landing was faked, but
this will not go well.
There's an argument that it's impossible for humans to leave something called the Van Allen belt.
So I've been waiting for this guy to have a bad take that touches on what I'm comfortable speaking on, because basically all of his takes are nonsense, but usually they're more historical conspiracies rather than science-based conspiracies. So he's going to talk about the Van Allen belt. Great, let's see what he has to say.
The Van Allen belt is this electromagnetic field that protects us from cosmic radiation.
Well, sort of. The Earth's magnetic field protects us from cosmic radiation, most of which comes from the sun, and in doing so creates the Van Allen belts. Essentially, the magnetic field forces all of those charged particles which make up the radiation into two donut shapes which surround the Earth rather than letting them get to the surface.
So the belts themselves have heavy radiation, so if you go into it, you die.
Right, so it's absolutely true that there's lots of radiation in the Van Allen belts, so you shouldn't hang out there for very long. But it's not like an insta-kill field. For example, spending 90 minutes in the Van Allen belts is usually estimated to be the radiation equivalent of a few chest x-rays. It's definitely not good for you, but if you're only in them for a brief period of time, you'll be okay. And that's exactly what the Apollo astronauts did. They planned the route to avoid as much of the belts as possible, leaving through the hole in the donut rather than through the meat, and skirting by its edges when necessary. Depending on how you measure it, it was about 2 hours in the belts on the way there, but most of that was spent in low-intensity regions. And this is borne out in the radiation data they have. The Apollo crew received about 2 millisieverts, whereas it takes 4 or 5 sieverts to be fatal, and 250 millisieverts to have any clinically observable blood changes.
But also, if you leave the Van Allen belts, there's nothing to protect you from cosmic radiation, so you could die as well.
This also isn't true. On the moon, for example, the radiation levels max out at around 400 millisieverts per year. Now, you wouldn't want to live on the moon unprotected, of course, but a few days, you'll be fine.
So some scientists actually believe that it's impossible to leave Earth, okay? We'll just die.
Which scientists? Notice how these conspiracy peddlers always just allude vaguely to some scientists? It's a way to get credibility for their argument without actually having to provide evidence.
As you may know, right now, a lot of countries, America, China, are trying to get back to the moon.
Sure. In fact, a lot of countries have successfully done it recently. In the last 5 years, the US, China, Japan, and India have all successfully landed rovers or landers on the moon. Now, for some reason, there's desire to send people back to the moon, and that's in the works by the US with a projected mission date of around mid-2027. But who knows with this government?
They're having a really hard time, okay?
Are they, though? It's basically just a funding and safety issue. Back in the 60s, there was a lot more funding for space exploration, about 5% of the US budget at the time, and a lot less worry about astronaut safety. Neither of those are the case anymore.
They're having a hard time because NASA lost all the technology, lost all the footage, lost all the data. Oops.
That's a straight up lie. Regarding the technology, basically all of the blueprints, build plans, and documentation is available online for free. What was lost was the physical technology, meaning the literal machines used to manufacture the various parts involving assembling the rockets and modules. And that's because that technology was largely retired and repurposed after the Apollo program ended. Why would they just keep maintaining factories for a program that's no longer active? As far as the video is concerned, sure, we don't have the original video that was being broadcast directly to Mission Control. That stuff was eventually taped over if it ever got recorded, much like old Doctor Who. But they weren't the only ones recording it. You can watch this stuff on YouTube. And as far as the data, we have lots of it, just not in one big repository. For example, you can go find raw telemetry from the guidance computer during lunar landing for both Apollo 11 and Apollo 12. It's available. Now, what was lost was much of the engineering and television telemetry for Apollo 11, but that's only for one mission.
How was NASA able to keep this secret? Well, guess what? A lot of their most important people were Freemasons.
And if you haven't already stopped paying attention, here's a safe place to get off this train to Crazy Town. So let's call it there, shall we?
Why don't they just send those robots up there?
What can you tell me about this?
Well, if you look at the science, it's enhancing cognition. We've seen a 50% improvement in how individuals were able to read and absorb information, have better decision making. And also, we did a study and showed that it delayed the progression of metastatic cancer. And I've actually taken this a number of times because having been in research for the last 15 years and having lived with multiple chronic diseases, one of which I reversed, some of the most powerful strategies like this were not being told to me when I went to the doctor's office. So let's dig deeper. I went through some pretty dramatic moments in my childhood. You know, I did everything I was told, right? I exercised all the time. I ate what I was supposed to eat, but I still became obese.
You weighed about 255 pounds?
Yep. And I had no idea how damaging that actually was to my body. And I think the vast majority of people also don't. But over 20% of children have obesity. That's quadrupled over the last 30 years. And a big part of that is when it comes to food, what looks healthy isn't always healthy. And it's not by accident. And then I ended up getting diagnosed with a chronic irreversible disease that obesity puts you at risk for. And that immediately turned into a journey to understand how to be healthy. And I came across this diet a little over a decade ago called the ketogenic diet. So then I went into the science of this diet and found positive impacts on things like diabetes, obesity, Alzheimer's, serious mental illness, chronic diseases. And I was like, oh, wow. Because a lot of people don't realize that many of these are not just preventable, but also reversible. So let me tell you all about it.
Keep on smiling. Oh, shit! I said over easy!
Now, why did I do that?
Build a phone. Do not give her a phone.
New study out. Kids who get phones before the age of 13 have a higher incidence of suicide. Her brain is already going to be vulnerable to an addiction. She's got genetic stuff going on, and she's got hyperfrontal, and she hates how she feels. We have to be so careful.
That's a lot in a little bit of time.
What I'm about to show you could have dire consequences for communicable diseases for the human race. There was a groundbreaking study that came out of Germany from German researchers where they captured the very first ever scientific footage of brown rats actively hunting and devouring bats mid-flight, which is a previously undocumented behavior that nobody's ever seen before that could have some pretty serious ecological and public health consequences. Now, this isn't just like some random type of an animal encounter. This is like pretty serious wake-up call that shows just how invasive rats can be as a species, and also shows physical proof how deadly viruses like coronaviruses could jump from bats to humans. So here's why this is so concerning to me, at least. Bats are natural reservoirs for a slew of pathogens and illnesses, including coronaviruses like SARS-CoV-2. And rats are equally notorious for being carriers of diseases like leptospirosis and hantavirus. I mean, hell, rats were blamed for the spreading of the Black Plague all throughout Europe. And they're all over the major urban areas and cities right now across the entire planet. Now, by preying on bats, they potentially could end up facilitate pathogen exchange between the two major wildlife reservoirs, which could create like a risky concoction or cesspool of these viruses to mutate and then spill over to humans, because rats are all over human living areas, especially in urban cities where rats thrive alongside people and they're eating your trash and stuff on the side of the road. That's what I think makes this so deadly. And this kind of aligns with the framework of One Health, which is like a framework that says that humans, animals, and environmental impact is all interconnected, which it really is, because what happens in the animal kingdom eventually is going to spill over to humans.
Dude, I keep having this rat on my Ring doorbell on my like door handle.
Is that Godzilla? Oh my goodness.
Bro, the Walmart drones, I'm just waiting on the day that one of these fucking drones deliver the groceries to the wrong house.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
But that's crazy. That is wild, bro. Walmart really got drones around this hoe. Like, they really dropping your shit off in the sky.
New quantum science just dropped from Harvard, and wow, I'll distill the important bits for you. Or should I say, qubits. For decades, quantum computers have held the promise of changing everything from finance to physics, but they've always had a fatal flaw. They couldn't stay on. Which I guess is important. The fundamental units, called qubits, would literally escape the system, causing even the most advanced machines to crash after just 13 seconds. This atom loss was a massive bottleneck, turning these potentially revolutionary devices into little more than fleeting fireworks. And this technical problem has really been a roadblock for humanity. We need quantum computers that can run for days to help tackle some of society's most challenging problems right now. For example, accurately simulating the complex chemistry needed to design new medicines is something that would take a normal computer thousands of years, but a quantum computer just days. As long as quantum computers keep crashing, life-saving drugs and many other cool discoveries remain stuck on the horizon. But now Harvard physicists have solved it. They've built the first quantum computer that can run continuously. Using a system of optical tweezers and an atomic conveyor belt, the machine essentially heals itself, replacing lost qubits on the fly faster than they can escape. They've already run it for over 2 hours and in theory could run it forever. There are still other challenges to solve, but this breakthrough might shrink the timeline until we get truly powerful quantum computers down from 5 years to only 2 or 3. And don't worry about this power breaking all encryption. Experts have been preparing for this for years, and new post-quantum security standards have already started rolling out to keep our data safe. I'll keep you updated.
Why is it important to belong? What does that mean? And why is it also important to stand alone?
Because I don't think you can truly belong to anything or any group if you don't belong to yourself first.
It's very true.
True belonging requires us to be who we are, not to change who we are. That's fitting in. Fitting in is the greatest threat to belonging.
Yeah.
Which takes us both back to our childhoods, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fit in, fit in, fit in, fit in. The problem is that that chameleon kind of skill set means that in order to fit in, the first person you betray is yourself. We've got to be able to stand alone, and that's what's happening right now in the world. I mean, if I look back at Braving the Wilderness, that was maybe the only prophetic book that I think I've ever written. Like that, I don't think I'm prophet-like, but man, did I call what was happening in terms of the big sort into ideological bunkers where we're gonna get to a place where I don't even know you, but I'm gonna call you friend because we hate the same people.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
And you over there, I actually do love you. You're a family member of mine. But I'm not, because we don't believe in the same things, you have no meaning in my life. My care for you, my connection with you, completely dependent on you not questioning anything we agreed to back here. Well, that's counterfeit connection.
That's interesting.
You trying to get on, man? Let's do it, man. I wanted to make you your own beat. I didn't want you to have to get on someone else's,
Oh, yeah.
What are you feeling, bro?
I'm gonna get like a chill beat,
A chill beat?
Yeah, I'm not a singer.
Me neither, bro. I'm stressed now. Like,
Yeah,
how slow? Can you give me like a little tempo or something?
I don't even know.
I'll figure it out. Don't even worry. You want to walk with me a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling. Do it for the fun of it. Yeah, I'm on that money shit. 20 bands up in my pocket, I fly as a rocket. Still waiting for my 6 bands, you better know that. He stole my wig at Sky Zone, but he fell back. Chrome hard sauce, master kicks. It's a new year and you know I'm dropping hits. If I hear him talking shit, then I will pull up with a mix. Getting money from the method, and you know I'm hella rich. I don't got shit up on my mind, I'm feeling like I'm JFK. He got hit one time and now we acting FK. Bitch, I'm ballin'. Got this shit on my hip, shot calling. Sad you want the beef, stop stalling. 100 plaques, 100 racks, yeah, I'm going crazy. Maybach, stay back, it's a new Mercedes. See me in public, you better not spike me. Like, I'm coming politely.
Okay, got bars. Hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another Bryce is Right. I hope y'all have a great freaking weekend. Stay safe out there. Get ready for them holidays. Just get out the days, and stay busy, get to work, and enjoy that family time, y'all know. And other than that, y'all know what to do. Go smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss out on any future content, and leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Let us know what's up. Other than that, we will see y'all next time. All right, y'all. Peace.
Ask for a piece.
I can't have a piece of that?
No, you can't have a piece. This is private.
Come on, man. I'll be your dog.